What if I told you the internet skyline, banks, hospitals, rockets, once trembled because 11 missing lines of code, one keystroke, a ripple through millions of machines, lights flickered, builds failed, and the web learned how fragile its own heartbeat could be. In a quiet apartment, a tired developer hovered over an open source package. He clicked unpublish. Somewhere else, a factory build burst red, then another, then thousands. 11 lines vanished, and the web's assembly line choked on thin air. Your phone, your bank, your ride app, each is a skyscraper of code built on scaffolds you never see. Tiny modules doing tiny tasks at planetary scale. Remove one rung, and the whole skyline tilts. That night, it tilted hard. Stakes? A payment queue stalls. Deliveries miss windows. Hospital terminals spin. When small parts fail at the core, time itself stretches. Across cities, across lives. Dependency isn't abstract. It's the gap between now and not yet. Behind the curtain are maintainers. Often one person, 3 jobs, a cat, and a half-drunk coffee, keeping libraries alive at 3 a.m. They hold more uptime than most office towers, yet their paycheck can be a donation link and thank you. The registry is a vast bazaar, millions of tiny packages, each a bead in a global necklace. Speed is the currency. Trust is the thread. Pull the thread wrong, and the necklace spills across the world's floors.
A naming dispute lit the fuse. A tiny module disappeared, and with it, composure. Contracts met code, and code buckled, proving a harsh truth. Our digital engines can seize when one unpaid mechanic sets down the wrench. But software is only half the ghost. The web rides glass hair under oceans, cables narrower than a garden hose, crossing trenches and storm fronts. A backhoe, an anchor, a quake, and continents blink. Cheap cameras enslaved by malware aimed at the internet's phone book. It wasn't fireworks, it was fog. Traffic everywhere. Sites couldn't be found, and a quiet chaos seeped through living rooms and boardrooms alike. Another day, a single typo touched a storage nerve in the cloud. Dashboards bled red. Apps forgot their memories. Engineers raced to unstick a region, while the world learned a cruel riddle. Where is somewhere else when everything points here? A configuration flag flipped in a content network, and headlines vanished. The morning paper of the planet crumpled mid-sentence. We met our new editor-in-chief, a misconfigured cache, coolly consistent and terribly wrong. Complexity breeds surprise. Tiny edits propagate along tangled graphs where cause and effect shake hands in the fog. We draw maps, write runbooks, simulate failure, yet the system still finds new edges to trip us. A misfired route once tried to erase a video site from the map. One provider shouted a lie, and routers believed it. For hours, the river of packets detoured into a cul-de-sac, and the world waited at a dead end.
The internet's diplomats are routers at borders, trading routes on trust and timers. There's no king, just handshake etiquette. When a neighbor whispers the wrong path, good citizens can unknowingly carry bad news far. Meanwhile, life keeps score. A cashier's scanner times out. Dispatchers stall. Traders stare at blank tickers. Software outages are weather now, arriving uninvited, closing roads you can't see, and lifting only when the pressure system shifts. Sometimes, the threat rides inside the update. A helpful stranger maintains a project, slips in poison, and waits. One wallet app later, funds evaporate. Trust is a ladder. Attackers climb it too. A signed official update once delivered an espionage boomerang. Inside enterprise fortresses, code walked through the gate wearing a badge. For months, it listened. The breach traveled by trust, not by force. Then came a clever mirror trick. Publish a public package with the same name giants use privately.
and let their own tools fetch the decoy. No locks were picked. The front desk waved it in by habit. Even protections can bite. A single regular expression spiraled into a CPU storm, swamping a shield meant to defend. The net didn't burn. It hiccuped and gasped, proof that safety nets need safety nets. Could a snarky tweet, a 2 a.m. typo, and a tired maintainer converge into a blackout day? That's not fiction. It's a risk register. Complex systems fail like constellations. Several stars line up, and night suddenly deepens.
A maintainer pulls a critical brick. A CDN caches an error globally. A stray route leak bends traffic off a cliff. Flights refuel on paper plans. Payment terminals chirp and fail. Slack fills with smoke without fire. War rooms ignite. Pager choruses. Triage splits the infinite into the urgent. Stop the leak, soften the blast, route around the crater. Runbooks unfold like field manuals. Hunches duel dashboards for the right side. Caches refuse fresh truth. Routes send packets on pilgrimages. Package managers scream for a module that isn't there. Every fix jostles two failures, and the clock grows louder than the alarms. Keep the patient awake and risk sepsis, or induce a coma and operate. Engineers darken non-essential edges to preserve the heart. Silence isn't defeat. It's space to think without drowning. The tide turns. A holdout router is pinned to truth. Caches learn to forget. The missing brick reappears under guardrails. Green bars climb. Traffic equalizes. The city hum returns. Tentative at first, then proud. After the storm comes the autopsy. Not blame, physics. What failed, when, why, and how we believed the wrong thing. The document is long, the lessons humble. We tightened a bolt and found a symphony in it. Signed artifacts, software bills of materials, multi-factor walls for registries. We bring receipts for the code we run, so trust becomes measurable, not just polite. At the borders, routers learn skepticism. RPKI, stricter filters, signed routes. Gossip gets credentials. Detours get challenged. The commons grows teeth without a crown. Resilience isn't a product, it's a habit. Canary deploys, feature flags, chaos drills, and spare runways between providers. We practice failure, so success doesn't surprise us. And we remember the people. Funding maintainers, rotating on call, mental health breaks, mentorship. Stability is human work. Uptime is empathy scaled to global size. Complex systems drift toward disorder. Our job is to build islands against the current. Clear docks, smaller blast radii, graceful degradation. The ocean wins in the long run, so we learn to surf, not to stop tide. Those 11 lines returned, guarded now by signatures and second thoughts. But the echo they left keeps us honest. The internet is a miracle of small parts and shared hope. Its strength is not certainty, it's recovery.